Professional photographers have long known of a technique called light painting, but the recent popularity of online photo sharing through sites like Instagram and Flickr has pushed many amateur photographers to pursue the method as well, in search of the perfect artsy shot. Using a long exposure setting on a regular DSLR camera, where the shutter remains open longer, we can track the path of light across a field of vision.
Film is a light-sensitive material. It's typically composed of silver halides, which react to UV radiation, violet and blue lights, and are made sensitive to other visible colors of light through the use of dyes. The film is protected by the shutter. When the photograph is taken, the shutter opens momentarily. Light travels through the air towards the camera, bends at several glass lenses, and converges again on the film, reacting to silver halides, and the changes made are made visible through the developing process. Exposure is the amount of light a lens captures when a photo is taken. The aperture, or size of the lens that is open to receiving light, like a sort of shutter for the lens, the speed at which the shutter closes, and the amount of light in the environment all affect the exposure of a photograph. In long exposure photography, the length of time the shutter is open is greatly increased from a typical photograph, so that any movement of the object can be detected by the change in light that the camera receives. The aperture should be set to a mid f-stop number, like 6.5, to blur any background light. And additionally, since the exposure time is long, a low ISO setting allows environmental light to be less noticeable in the resulting photograph and focuses more on the moving light in the foreground.
Here's the thing. The effect of the light on the film varies depending on the wavelength and intensity of the light being shown at the camera. When the light is moving fast and weakly concentrated, the image looks like this. And instead of a flashlight, which spreads the light as it travels through the area, here's a LED laser beam. This one looks most clear because the light remains focused on the lens, giving an extremely clear, distinct image on the screen. Fire from a match or candle also works to produce a steady stream of light, but it's more difficult to move the light around quickly because the fire extinguishes rather easily.
So to get a really good picture, a constant intensity, easily handleable light source was needed. Something along the lines of a glow stick.
As you can see, we have a glow sticky here. When you break the glow sticky, the hydrogen peroxide center mixes with the acetic dye.
The hydrogen peroxide oxidizes the phenyl oxalate ester, creating a chemical called phenol and an unstable peroxy acid ester. The unstable chemical decomposes twice to produce carbon dioxide, releasing energy into the dye, which excites the electrons in the dye atoms. As they jump to higher levels and fall back down to normal states, the energy is released in the form of light.
And it glows because it's phospholuminescence, aka science. Ta-da!
Applying heat to reactions, such as those seen in glow sticks, increases the reaction rate. This is why some people place their glow sticks in the freezer. It slows down the reaction and makes them glow for longer stretches of time. In nature, the phenomenon of luminescence is known to light up fireflies and occasionally make rocks glow in the dark.
Applications are few and far between without the development of highly sensitive camera lenses and film. But if some type of film or lens was created to be sensitive to X-rays or gamma rays so that a shutter stayed open long enough to capture the movement of emitted radiation, scientists could determine areas with high and low intensities of this radiation. This would require an exceedingly long time for the photograph to develop, and would be most useful with stationary objects and locations. So for now, light painting is mostly for playtime. But whoever said playtime wasn't important?
For Science Friday, I'm Delaney Durant.
And I'm Kitty Hennessy.